Well, if you've been continuing to watch our live coverage, then it was brilliant to see Nigel Owens taking charge of that under-13s exhibition match, and he will be back later on at 4:20 to take charge of our final, which will be the Manchester Village Spartans against King's Cross Steelers, that Manchester-London derby. But we also have the Spartans playing now. Their twos are playing against the Liverpool Tritons, and this is the Challenger Cup final. Delighted to be joined by Simon, who is allied to the Spartans. And how's the weekend been, Simon?
It's been very good. We're quite sunburnt. We've had a good time, and we've been looking forward to this. This is also a local derby for us because Liverpool's only about 20 minutes away.
Of course.
And we play them very regularly.
And who often comes out on top?
It very much depends on the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, excellent.
So this should be a good match to watch.
Finally, a Scottish voice to go with the Spartan element.
Yeah.
of Manchester.
There is quite a few of us in the team.
Delighted to have. It's going to be a humdinger of a final later, isn't it?
Hopefully, yeah. Spartans won, Steelers won. That's a big rivalry as well.
Yeah.
A big derby. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah. Good friends off the field, but there will be no love lost when that whistle goes.
Absolutely not.
Quarter taken or given. So the Tritons with Larry Carr, who was waiting to get this one in, just a couple of minutes on the clock. I have to say, of all the stash I've seen this weekend, that spotty Spartans kit is definitely one of my favourites.
Yeah, that was a player-designed element.
Did that just go forwards on the
floor?
Did
a little bit, yeah.
Just did.
We changed our kit recently and had a bit of a competition within the club to see who could design the best one, and that was designed.
Blue Peter.
Yeah. So that was designed by David Fox, who's one of our ones.
Excellent.
And although it looks at circles from a distance, they're actually tiles, honeycomb tiles.
Oh yes, I can see that. Yeah.
With Manchester's symbol being a bee.
Very good.
So that's the pattern that he was inspired by.
That's very good indeed. I like that.
Twos have been playing really well this tournament. So
a bit of pressure there, Liverpool from the Spartans, but they've done well. And now this is a decent outside arc, but just scragged in the tackle.
Yeah, that looks like Nathan Coleman.
Did a good job of managing to grab hold of him. And it's just a little bit loose, and then it does eventually go forwards. So not taking part this weekend, Simon?
Sadly not. No, I've got a recurrent calf injury from a tear. So I wanted to make sure I was fit for next season.
Very good.
So short-term pain, long-term gain.
Excellent. So you've supported, I'm sure, in
I've
many ways.
Supported and joined the medical team for the weekend.
Oh, excellent.
And thankfully I haven't had to do anything, so it's been brilliant.
That's very good.
It may change after this match.
So if I have a funny turn, are you medically qualified to help?
I am, yeah.
Excellent, good to know.
For a fee.
The American insurance, health insurance system. Okay, well here come the Spartan 2s again. Shifting it on. Need to get a bit of go forward as well. That was speculative offload, didn't quite go to hand, and a bit of frustration from Spartans Campbell there, the fullback. Who are your longest serving players out there for the twos then this afternoon?
Oh, we've got quite a few. So, let me think. We've got Andy Wigg, who's playing 22. Or actually he's got 13 on his back, but he's our 22nd player. He is actually previously the captain of the twos for quite a numerous years, and has come back to us this year after a bit of a break. Quite a lot of the players have also been in and out of the ones as well. So we've probably got some players on pitch who have played for 5-6 years or more.
Great to hear.
And some who it's their first season playing. So quite a good mix.
Yeah, okay. poor guys who have to turn up and undertake some form of initiation in their first tournaments. Or at least that's what we do to people in our touch rugby club anyway. I'm assuming it still goes on.
We've tend to mix it up. So Monday tends to be our fun day after the tournament's over.
Okay, yeah.
So every tournament we go to, the Monday has a theme.
Yes.
So this year, inspired by the Miss Universe competitions, it's Miss the name of the town you were born in.
Excellent. I was actually out last night, sat next to I can't remember his name unfortunately, but he's going as Miss Grimsby.
Yes, that's going to be a sight to behold.
And I got a sneak preview of the costume, and it is excellent. Yeah. So if you see if you're in and around Dublin tomorrow, brace yourselves for the Manchester Village Spartans in full rig.
It's a sight to behold at the best of times.
Yeah, well, I got shown also the picture of all of you in wedding dresses.
Oh yeah, that was also very funny.
That was amazing.
That was inspired by one of our ones who got jilted at the altar just before the tour.
And apparently didn't find it all that funny.
No, I think he took a year out.
Yes, so I heard. So, still waiting for our first score in this game. There's been an above 50% chance of showers for the whole weekend, and I think we've had a total of about 3.5 seconds of rain on our pitches here. So I am tempting fate, and the wind is just beginning to get up again with the suggestion that there might be a shower or two on its way through. But already we've done incredibly well. There's more sunburn than there are soaked bodies. Here come the Spartans again. It'll be 25 minutes a half for this Challenger Cup final.
A little bit scrappy at the breakdown.
And wanting a little bit of quicker ball here, the Spartans, but it's just being slowed down by the Tritons. Not sure I know what a Triton is. Ball is cleared downfield, taken in the middle, a little stop go, and then the offload. Nicely done, but a really big hit, stopping the ambition. Triton's trying to get as many players around as possible.
They know how we like to play.
Told that the Triton is a Greek god, messenger of the sea.
Yeah, I believe so. I can't remember the Greek god's name.
Triton, apparently. That's what I'm being reliably told in my ear by my support staff. Doesn't sound very Greek, Triton, though, does it?
No, it doesn't. Triton's the name of the sword, the weapon that he carries, the three-pronged Triton.
Ah. Also just been helpfully told he's also the patron saint of showers, and I know where that joke's come from. And I'm grateful for it nonetheless. The trident is the weapon.
Trident, yeah, you're right.
It wasn't quite sitting right with me there.
No.
Triton and his trident. Well, I'm glad we've looked after a bit of Greek mythology. There is in danger of a rugby game breaking out here. It
looks like it, yeah. Liverpool are starting to break away.
As the number 8 makes a surging run, and they're looking to try and get around on that outside.
And that looks like Cameron Buckley clearing him out.
Yeah, good tackle.
Cameron's had a phenomenal weekend. Goes into every tackle quite fearlessly.
Can I say that comment suggested it was laced with off-field success as well?
Pass.
Okay,
I couldn't possibly comment.
Excellent. Looking to pick and go as well.
It's Glenn Davidson, a local boy, Ireland native.
Excellent. Very good of you to have brought him home.
You can keep him if you want.
Now then, can the Spartans find a little bit more depth and width to get going? Knock-on will give the advantage to Liverpool. Looking to ask some questions of the fringes of the breakdown. You can tell there are some tired bodies that have been playing all weekend there.
Yeah.
Just trying to get themselves off the floor after each of these breakdowns is taking a little longer each time. Probably grateful for the blow of the referee's whistle just for a momentary pause after the first knock-on. Well, Liverpool have looked to take that one quickly and
taking advantage of that gap.
catch the Spartans napping. Ball has squirted out though. Liverpool didn't quite spot that, so Spartans with a bit of turnover possession. One of the Tritons is still on the floor. Thought he was injured. I think he's just having a rest.
They've been made to work for every bit of ground they get.
Yeah, it is pretty abrasive stuff out there. Now is there going to be a bit of width put on it? Need to have a little look before those passes go. Follow-up tackle is good enough, and then the pop offload off the floor.
That's Archie Taylor making a break, but not going to get that far.
He's done well to keep it alive. Tritons.
I think they've turned over the ball.
Well, I think the referee might say that the ball wasn't fully available. In fact, I think it was more of a call of in from the side.
Slowing the ball down. Spartans like to take quick penalties.
The referees just, I think, asked him to have a word with the rest of his team. Be careful in that sort of area. So this will give a chance for the Spartans 2s to take this one into the corner. Being given some more Triton info.
Have you?
Yeah. Apparently it's the... I'm going to need that information again, please, Steve, the director. The largest moon of the planet Neptune.
Oh, right.
And the father of the Little Mermaid was called King Triton.
I must need much more Disney. So this is the Spartans line out. The 2's favour a 5-man line, which normally throws some of the other clubs out a little bit. And it looks as if Liverpool have turned the ball over.
Yeah, they have. Didn't quite work out that time. So the benefit of putting 5 in means you've got a few extra men out in the midfield.
Yeah, to take advantage of hopefully some space.
Triton's just under pressure, going backwards a little. Earn themselves the penalty though.
And trying to take it quickly to make advantage of the Spartans not being awake yet.
And it's another penalty.
As if it wasn't releasing the player.
There they go again. Now he needs to make sure that his support is there to arrive, which it eventually is. Pops it up to the scrum half Carr, who I'm not sure was quite ready for it or wanted it just yet, but They need someone else in there to help play this away, or they're going to get another one of the men to stick it up the jumper and take a few more metres. Popped up again. Just a little untidy once more from the Spartans. And I think one of the players down may just need a bit of attention. So you weren't called upon for your medical duties, Simon. You were able to stay here while they've attended to those who've picked up a knock or two.
Thankfully, we've got quite a good team with us. We've got 2 physios and 2 medics, so Spartan scrum, and it's gone uncontested by the looks of it. They must have injured one of the front row. It's George Campbell.
Oh, it came off the top of his head now then.
And he's out.
Yeah, he didn't have an awful lot of room to play with there.
No.
And out they go.
Looks as if the scrums have gone non-contested at the Triton's request.
Spartans come away with it.
Yeah, that was our scrum half, Christian Davies, stealing the ball from the back of the scrum.
Good opportunist work.
Archie Taylor trying to make a break on the wing.
Yeah, cover defence from Liverpool has been decent. They've managed to drift across well, recognising when the Spartans have been trying to put a bit of width on it.
Mark Heaney, the captain, trying to make some ground. And it looks like...
Such a battle at the breakdown in this one, isn't it?
Yeah, neither side wants to give up. But the Tritons have earned a penalty on that one.
We saw it a little in the semi-final between the Steelers ones and the Warriors ones, in that actually so much of the game was played between the 22s. I mean, this one's almost just been between the two 10-metre lines. Neither side able to quite make the yards and find the room for the break.
This is when knowing your opponents well can help. Each team knows how they like to play. And Spartans steal the ball back from the line-outs. Kicking to try and gain some ground from Andy Wigg.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of the ball kicked in this game.
It's a skill we're trying to learn.
Well, where it's been relatively congested around the breakdown and in midfield, it's not a bad strategy, and Triton's arguably not back 10 there.
One of the Spartan things that we like to do, try and take those quick penalties. Force engagement.
Bit of high tempo. Not the same money spider trying to get me for about the last 2 hours. He's persistent. Picking down the short side.
Tom Jones trying to make some more ground for the ones.
It's not unusual to see him doing that, is it?
It's really not. He's one of our good ball carriers.
You missed my Tom Jones pun there.
No, I got it. I'm old enough to know it.
Oh.
I'm old enough to know it. I just wasn't engaging.
Absolutely hanging me out to dry.
I didn't want to show that I was old enough.
Perfectly done. Excellent. It didn't warrant engaging with, and yes.
And I'll never get asked back again.
No, I'd say more people would want you back than me for that. We do have a bit of a cuddle going on over the try line.
Spartans trying to capitalise on the opportunity here.
Are we going to get a score before the break? We are on a timed hooter, so it's not due to injury time. We won't get a delay despite the stoppage. Oh, just a little bit of afters from Liverpool there. There is the hooter. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. He's taking it back to the 5 metre anyway, as he is allowed to. Now they try and shift it. Are they going to get through? Looks like Liverpool might have just got enough numbers there to try and hold that up. And this might end up bringing about a half-time whistle rather than a score, unless the Spartans can bring that back. No, indeed. It wasn't playable. So referee says that will be that for half-time. We can just have another little look at that to see whether there was any more in that our referee didn't see, but oh, it was close. It was very, very close. And I think the Tritons did just do enough.
Yeah,
so
that was held up sadly.
It certainly was. Well, 25 minutes to come to see if either of these sides can break the deadlock. It is as tight as that. It's the Liverpool Tritons 0 and Manchester Village Spartans Seconds 0. So this is the second half of the Challenger Cup final being fought out between local rivals, the Manchester Village Spartans 2s and the Liverpool Tritons. And there's a bit of chest beating going on a few of the Tritons as well, this match is all level. We haven't had a score in the first 25 minutes. Will that change in the second 25? We're just awaiting the official hooter, which sounds, and the game has restarted.
Scrappy at the breakdown again as the Spartans trying to turn over.
A bit of fatigue creeping into both of these sides at the minute. So whether they've got enough in the tank to actually get through and make the break rather than just take those tackles. It's all about what's left in terms of that leg drive. Try and break through those first up tackles on either side. Tritons with ball in hand. But they're under pressure. And the Steelers have counter-rucked that brilliantly. The Spartans. I'll get shot for that, won't I?
Rex Lee trying to get some ground, get to ground. Fly half Christian Davies getting the ball out to Vice Captain Chris.
Just a little tentative into the tackle there. Oh, now then.
Knock on.
I would have thought that came backwards off a Triton.
I thought it did. Questionable referee. He's going for a scrum.
Titans made up of the likes of Josh Leach, Jonathan Price, Mike Rowlands, Paul Day, Lewis Herritt, Ben Smith, Mike Turner, Tom Moorhen, Larry Carr, the skipper Tom Patterson, Aaron Clemenson, John James Gibbons, Adam Dodd, Mark Ranard, Graham Brennan, David Ebriel, Marino Cazzero, Nate Hill, John O'Neill, Tonetto and Kurt Houghton. Oh,
that was knocked forward.
Be disappointed with himself there. Bit of a basic error.
The Spartans are the only ones gaining ground this half, but not much.
It's a slow assault.
Definitely is. It'd be much slower if I was playing.
Now they come back down the short side here to try and make a numerical advantage.
Trying to take advantage of the space. That's Archie Taylor.
Taylor
to Matt Doyle, who's trying to get some ground, but the flag is in the way.
I think the assistant has just spotted a tiptoe on the whitewash, which is just behind the flag.
I think you might be right, sadly.
Or maybe it was a forward pass. No, it's the line out. So we've seen the Spartans nick a couple of lineouts. This would be a key area of the field to do so if they can, and they can. Can they make it count through the middle? Players coming round the outside. There is a gap beginning to open. Looking to go quickly through the hands to get round the outside, but now cutting back infield. Popped off the floor once more. That's good, strong running.
And he's out, I think.
Right into the corner, but the assistant had his flag up. It was a strong run. Andy Wigg it was initially who cut back against the grain. And some strong stuff from George Campbell. Was it just trying to run it into the corner?
Yeah, it looked as if it was George. Then he handed off to Nathan Coleman. He just made a little bit of ground, but got pushed out just at the end. So there's another line out the Spartans to take in.
Yeah, they have. They've nicked another, and it might just allow them the chance to surge towards the line. Held up this time. Oh, they've tried to go on the short side and lost control. The assistant is able to inform the referee in case he was unsighted. So the Tritons will have the scrum. It's a couple of lineouts they've lost. They'll be hoping they can keep things a little more secure at scrum time.
Especially as they're non-contested.
Oh, well, there is that. Of course. Good reminder. Long kick downfield.
George Campbell bringing it back in for the Spartans.
Campbell offloads. Tritons get up in their faces to make those first up tackles. Try and stop the momentum, but here they come again. Right arm fend, and then the support line on the outside of the Spartans building to.
That's Archie Taylor.
The try. Taylor with the offload. He was called forwards on one of those previously, and I think he's been called forwards again. Taylor's got to be a bit more accurate in those offloads. It's twice they've had the opportunity on that outside channel now, and just needs the support player to stay deep, needs the pass a little deeper. Easy for me to say, sat here, isn't it?
This is Archie's first Union Cup experience, so I'm sure he's enjoying it nonetheless.
Well, there is plenty to enjoy. If you are just tuning in, it is the 2019 Union Cup here from DCU, Dublin City University. The 8th incarnation of the Union Cup. And we will be finding out later today, this evening, as to whether the 2021 Union Cup will be going to Birmingham or to Lyon.
Hopefully Lyon, because I've never been.
There we go.
Let's go!
Spartans are going to have to do it from just near the 10-metre line, following the decent clearance from the Tritons, but the Tritons steal that one right from under their noses at the very front of the line-out. Problem for Tritons at the minute, though, is that they're all passing backwards and no one is running forwards, so they're just losing yards, and that's another big hit from the boys from Manchester. Can they wrestle possession with the big tackles as well? Tritons come to the open side.
Leaving some gaps on the left hand side of that ruck. If they're not careful, that might be an advantage for the Tritons.
Getting closer bit by bit. They need the composure. Hold on to the ball. They're being allowed the moments to recycle.
Let's keep both hands on that ball when going into tackles, though.
Well, the referee has given the penalty here.
Taken quickly by Goodman.
And the little short ball offload. Little bit of a merry-go-round swing. Tritons beginning to fan out as they sense the danger. Nice cutting back in, it's opening it up.
That's Chris Goodman, vice-captain, scores the first try of the game.
And Goodman gets over for the score. It's been a long time coming, but the Spartans are onto the score sheet.
Tritons making them work for every bit of ground they gained, though. And I think that might be Chrissy's first try of the actual tournament, so that's quite a good one.
Well, that's good to see. Saving it for the final. 3 more finals coming up for you after this, over the course of day 2 of the Union Cup. 2:35 we have Leeds versus DH and Liberia. 3:45 Railway Union against Suttonians in the Anne Louise Gilligan Cup final, the women's tournament. And at 4:20 it's the big one, King's Cross Steelers against the Manchester Spartans. Conversion was bang on target, but it didn't quite have the legs to get there. So 5 points to 0. Spartans have it. Carl B is just on there, geeing up the troops.
These are one of our first team players.
Yeah, he'll be looking to have some words to say in that final later, no doubt.
I imagine Liverpool have got a renewed drive of determination now after that. They will not want the Spartans to have an easy game.
Be interesting to see what the option is going to be from the kick-off here, whether they want to go short and try and contest it, or go long and put all the pressure on the Manchester Village Spartans. Long they go.
That's it, Cameron Buckley.
Made some good yards. I'm taking the ball right under his own posts. And there's another
Tom Jones, the looks of that one.
good bit of running
contact
from Jones.
And they've turned that ball over well. Spartans have now lost possession.
Tritons just need a little bit more shape when they are getting the ball. They just, you can see them there at the minute. There's just a big group of them all stood around behind it. Difficult for them to
Trying to make advantage of the quick penalty there, but getting called back by the ref.
yeah, difficult for them to put any structure into the game if they're just going to be a little bit out of shape.
Spartans not very quick off the line for that penalty, giving the Tritons some space to make some moves.
Here come the Tritons. Oh, the gap might be opening up here. Pinning his ears back and going for the corner and touching down. Brilliant surge.
Is it Carr?
Here's our replay camera from behind the posts. Just fainted inside before going outside and well, celebrating that score. So, critical conversion at this stage. Obviously we do have a little bit of time left, but given how tight this game has been, these 2 points could be critical. Well, they nearly went over the other posts.
Both teams making each other pay for all the ground that they can get here.
Yeah, indeed. So, 5 points apiece.
Spartans getting set for kick-off. Spartans 2s comprised Thomas Jones, Glyn Davidson, Rob Cox, Tom Bird-Jones, Mark Heaney, Lee Clapham, Nathan Coleman, Cameron Buckley, Porrick O'Donnell, another local lad, Rex Lee, Miguel Oliver, Christian Davidson, Chris Goodman, about to kick off the second leg of this half, George Campbell, Matt Doyle, Rob Bartlett, Matt Brown, Archie Taylor, Cameron Cullen, Andy Wigg and Bill Wyman.
The Bill Wyman.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I had to ask a question. Good to give everyone the name check. Do our best to get some team sheets with names against them, but it's a fast-moving old tournament, and players want to get focused on getting their teams on and out there. So we hope you're enjoying the coverage that we are able to bring you. hopefully later on for our final, which will be refereed by Nigel Owens. We should have a representative from the Steelers and from the Spartans joining us in commentary, the incoming Spartans chairman, and John O'Elgin, who's been with us over the course of the last couple of days.
I think the commentary might be more interesting than the game, to be honest.
We're certainly going to do our best anyway. They've got one microphone though, so it'll be interesting to see how they share that.
Probably not well.
Yeah, indeed. Make sure you tune in, at least just for that. Now then, where's the mark? Is the first thing that Goodman wants to know after the high shot, and then the tap, and they will try and go quickly. It's a really good first up tackle though, to bring the man in possession down. And here they come again.
And the Tritons turning that ball over. Not well defended at the ruck by the Spartans.
Crucial moment that, wasn't it?
And they're being punished for it. Need to protect those breakdowns better if they want to keep that ball.
One of the Tritons players is not too happy down there. Mike Rowlands perhaps. A quick tap King. The wind just getting up. Started to get a little darker as cloud cover comes in. My goodness, everything's blowing everywhere in our commentary position all of a sudden. There is how the sky is looking. We've got a little bit less blue than we had a short while ago. We've been very lucky with dodging the rain showers. But Murphy's Law says that we are going to get a couple as we build through this afternoon's finals. We shall hope they pass us by.
I think the Spartans have managed to steal that ball. Miguel trying to gain some ground.
Now they're calling for it wider. There was an initial arm around the neck there, the referee right on it for the penalty advantage. Player is already protesting it from the Tritons side, but goes in to make the other tackle, then the offload off the floor, then back in field, changing the point of attack. That's good from the Spartans, keeping the energy high. But there's not enough of an advantage, and in fact the player involved, I think, is going to be having had a word with here.
The referee teams have been quite strict over the tournament, making sure that those high tackles are challenged.
Feinted to be going over to that right hand side, but then came back to the left. Where are the numbers as far as the Spartans are concerned? Where are the offloads? Need to get in there. Now then, is there a little bit of room around that breakdown? First up tackle was decent enough, bringing the man to ground. 8 metres out.
But they've lost that ball again in the ruck. Been turned over.
Tritons have just got themselves out of jail in this area of the field enough times, haven't they?
Yeah, sadly.
Now they pick and go, but Spartans are going to want to try and wrestle it back. Still with the Tritons. They've got the wind at their back, so once they can set up the right position and get someone to clear the lines, they've been making decent enough yards out of it. But that was not one of those kicks. And here they come on a flying run around the corner. Really solid tackle.
Good run from Nathan Coleman.
Good to see a bit of pace suddenly springing into the game. Now the last pass. Well, can they finish? Flag goes up just before he could get the ball in field. To see the French side 2-1 running through a bit of line-out drill in the background. If you saw them playing yesterday, you would have enjoyed some brilliant moments with hooking number 2. to the last 5 minutes. Is the deadlock about to be broken? Over the line they go. Spartans get the second try. Look what it means to them as well. They know how tight this game is, and what a big score that could be. Big cheers on the far side, being supported by the rest of the team.
Good try from Miguel Oliver, gaining that ground, so the hole took advantage. They need to get a little bit better with those breakdowns though. The Tritons are punishing them for every one that they don't protect properly.
Lining up the conversion, it's going to be very, very difficult. Wind cutting across from left to right. Needs to probably aim this left of the upright.
And the Tritons getting a little bit eager.
I think they thought the little soft shoe shuffle was the beginning of the run-up. Wasn't to be. We are still in a one-score game. By our watch, 2.5 minutes to go. Can the Tritons get themselves back on the scoreboard? They didn't take too long from the last restart, having put the pressure on the Spartans, so they'll be hoping for exactly the same sort of result.
Spartans just need to make sure they're protecting these breakdowns a bit better. They're leaving too many gaps, not enough people to secure that ball.
Plucked out of the air. Got to release the man you've tackled, as well as the man with the ball needing to release it. Spartans have been a little bit more protective of possession than they were from the last restart. That's a big hit though. Ball goes backwards in the tackle.
Coleman again trying to gain some ground for the Spartans.
And he has done that in no uncertain terms. And another fend, and he's still going, Coleman. Just almost overrunning himself, but finding the touchline in the process. But what a run, and what crucial yards in the last 2 minutes of the game. It's getting the applause that is richly deserved.
Certainly giving the Spartans some breathing space.
Yeah, it has.
With just over a minute to go.
Tritons have packed this line out. Oh, there's a real wrestle in there for that possession.
I think the Tritons might still have kept the ball. Trying to look for some space and a bit of a knock on there.
First knock-on came from the Spartans, I think through the line out, so we're coming back for that scrum. Our clock goes into the red.
Spartans will be very keen not to repeat the end of the IGR League in the UK, where the Tritons beat them.
Well, one intercept and a length of the field score and conversion, and it could still be a Liverpool victory, but maybe a little far-fetched here.
Never say never.
Or Tritons with possession, I should say, of course, so uncontested scrum. They'll bring it away. Oh, referee says there was a knock-on at the base. Hooter has already gone. So there is the final whistle. Second piece of silverware of the day, having seen the bowl final one earlier by DCU. Look at the celebrations from the Manchester Village Spartans. The seconds are the winners of the Challenger Cup final. Will they be celebrating again at just past 5 o'clock this afternoon? 20 past 4 is our Union Cup final. Couple of games to come between now and then. Simon, thanks so much for your time and your company.
No, you're more than welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Been great to have you with us and to learn a little bit more about the Spartans. Enjoy your Monday, won't you?
Thank you.
I'm sure you're going to look marvellous. What town are you from?
I'm from Girvan in Scotland.
So
but
you'll be Miss Girvan, will you?
sadly not. My flight's early tomorrow.
Oh,
morning.
you're not taking
I'm
part.
not taking part.
Well, I'm sure the pictures in the WhatsApp group will keep you entertained.
I hope so.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much. Congratulations to the Spartans. And, our coverage will continue throughout the afternoon as the next finals roll around. Of course, as I mentioned, that Union Cup final will be coming later on at 4:20, but we have Leeds against DH and Liberia coming up next. Then the women's final, a Railway Union against Suttonians, but that Cuchulainn Cup final coming up in around about 10 or so minutes time.